real nice.
You have this loose up here. I'm tying it for you.
Well, that's the problem, then.
It's always a problem.
Here we are.
It's always a breath of relief once we
Holy
finally get
cow.
to this point.
It's
of
like
our podcast.
chaotic every time we have one of these, Judy.
Until we fix this podcast.
We got to fix it. We were talking about that. Well, we can talk about that in a little bit, but thank you guys for joining us on today's Old Carver Fishing Podcast. I am Luke Henches, and today we have a really good one. Not everyone's in the studio. It's been a while since I've done a podcast, so I'm probably a little bit rusty, but we got a lot of stuff to talk about, I think.
Maybe.
I didn't really think about what we're going to talk about today, but we got stuff to talk about. Tara's trip, upcoming trips, shop plans. We also can announce our new thing today. I think we should do that on our podcast.
Sure.
We got really, really, really huge news for Old Carver Bait and Tackle Shop. Not everyone knows. Most people don't know.
I don't know.
But
I think you do.
Today, in studio, we have Miss Tara Lindsay next to me on my left. She's my business partner with Rods and Reloads.
Business partner.
We do videos together on YouTube. We just hit 1,000 subscribers today in under 4 months.
So exciting.
Which is really good.
Yep.
I think.
That sounds
It
like
feels
it's really
good. We hit 200,000 views in under 4 months. A lot of them are short views, but they're still views. I'm Luke,
Right.
also Rods and Reloads, formerly Fish on Luke and Northwoods Angling. Next to me, the mustache pistachio,
That's right.
Chewy Godinez
That's
Jr.
right.
He is the co-owner of Old Carver Bait and Tackle
Why is
Shop,
that so low?
Monty Bait and Tackle, Stoked Custom
Oh.
Baits.
Oh.
I just leaked it.
Oh.
But that's Chewy. And then next to him, we got Scott Goodyman, Norfin Pro Staff, Vexlar Pro Staff, local guy here that does a lot of ice fishing in the winter, does a lot of pan fishing. He's really good at it. That's why he has those sweet sponsors. So
Yeah.
thanks for coming, Scott.
Coolest
Thanks
guy in
for
the
having
room.
me.
Appreciate you coming in here today.
Dan couldn't make it today. He had dinner plans with the family.
Dan had dinner plans, which is okay.
Yep.
We haven't redone the podcast room. We have our podcast room back if you haven't noticed. But we're
It's pretty
still
cramped.
it's a little disorganized, dysfunctional, not working correctly at the moment. But we're in here and we're doing a podcast. We haven't done one in quite some time, to be honest.
Especially in
3
here.
weeks.
Yeah.
And we came back with a kick. We came back with a bang. We got the big boys on today, the old timers, the good boys. I made a nice thumbnail of them. I did a little Photoshop today. I've never done a face transplant Photoshop in my life, but I feel like it turned out pretty good for.
I thought
Yeah, I
it was
think
considering.
I think it came across well.
But today's guests are Mark P. and Lyle Stokes. I'm gonna butcher his name. I'm gonna say Mark Przybysz.
Mark Przybysz.
Przybysz.
Hey,
And Lyle.
What's going on? Hey, look at this.
Panfish Nation in the house. That's what we got going on. Lyle's already sipping on his cocktail.
What happened here?
It's gonna be a good day.
It's coffee.
It is what it is. It's a coffee cup.
This is a good thing, coffee.
I didn't say it wasn't a coffee cup, Lyle. But we appreciate you guys giving us our kickback here and joining us on this podcast.
Oh, it's always a pleasure to be with you. Even if your thumbnails are a little, I don't know. I'm looking for it here.
That's
When
a
I saw
very-
that thumbnail, I'm like, no, we're not doing this again.
So that photo is a famous photo, but it's especially famous in Minnesota.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. We had
Wow,
comments before the show started in the Panfish Nation chat about being nominated for a Golden Whisker already. I hadn't been up 5 minutes.
Thumbnail of the year.
Yeah,
Thumbnail of the year. And if you get it, me and Lyle want one too. Make sure they get it.
absolutely. If you're going to win stuff off of us, we at least get an award.
I'll give you guys a hug, possibly a handshake.
Aw.
No.
Well, I'll take it.
I need a medal. I need medal.
No, a hug would work.
So what do you guys got going on tonight? What are you guys discussing, or is it just us?
Just you down.
God, that's
Aw,
really
just
nice of
us
you guys.
girls.
Whoa, girl.
Girls.
Girl. Tara's confused. She's not quite sure. But can I announce some big news for the shop?
Sure.
Well, we got some big news. You want me to announce it, or do you want to announce
You
it?
go ahead and announce it.
Well, here's the thing. We've been if anyone's ever been to the shop, well, Mark would have known if he would have came and visited us. He was 5 miles from
Yeah,
the
what
shop,
the
but he never
heck?
came.
Oh,
Wow.
Mark.
I told you guys I was coming up there like, oh,
Not
we're not going to be
even.
in the shop.
You
I'm like,
realize
all right,
he
I'll
was-
just come home.
He was at Rapid Marine, which is 4 miles from here.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
far at all.
Well, he told you told me you were coming. I never let them know, Mark.
I know I wanted to surprise you guys, but then Chewy's like, well, they're not going to be around. I'm like, well, then I'm coming home. I'm going to have
Were
a
we in
boat
Missouri?
tow.
Where were we?
We were working
Where?
at work. Everybody was at work. when
I
you got
can
here.
always go see Mark.
Well, I could have gotten off too, but I thought he was going to come to the shop. And
I'll
he,
tell you what, next time I come up
he-
here to buy a
he-
boat, I'll let you know for sure.
Yeah, well,
20 more
Jesus,
years.
well, might as well just go down there and see you in Wisconsin.
But the big news is everyone knows if you came to our shop, we have a small shop, and what we do a lot of apparel, we do a lot of embroidery, a lot of laser etching, we do a lot of making clothing, we do a lot of lure building. Chewy's been wanting to do a lot more lure building because that's what his specialty is custom lures, custom baits, tackle. We were trying to find another place around here that had the space for us to produce what we want without opening a new shop, and we're going to just keep this shop. And what Chewy and Rika decided, he surprised me. He handed me a key. He's like, oh, the place sucked. We looked at, and then he threw keys at me, and he's like, here you go. And they ended up we're going to open up a brand new bait shop in the next 2 weeks. We've been working really hard, kind of secretly, in Montgomery, Minnesota, where Chewy's going to start fully producing baits again for the country to love and enjoy. And we'll have a full embroidery area and a nice little bait shop for local people and anyone that wants to visit. So it's going to be like a shop and a manufacturing facility for me and Chewy and Rika and Tara. So me and Tara can do our apparel in there for our channel, and we'll be making stuff for the bait shop as well. So we're super excited about that. And
I
it's a
need some hats made.
big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get you some rods and reloads hats.
Yeah, we have to start
I'm
producing.
talking about Catfish Weekly hats.
Nope.
Oh.
We're not taking custom orders at this time, Lyle. So
Well, why am I surprised?
we got a lot of catching up to do on our end before we can start doing anything like that.
He won't. I tried to do a couple of lures. He won't let me do nothing. He just wants me to clean up and organize.
Yep.
But every time we walked away from the area, I started melting plastic again, and he can smell it and come back on.
What are you doing? I was like, dude, this guy has enough stuff for custom baits. Literally, I'm not kidding you, to fill a double garage from floor to ceiling of just like skirts, jigs, hooks. And his jig molds would take up an entire second stall in a garage.
Is that a problem?
Crazy, dude.
I
I've
have
never.
no problem with that.
It's a problem.
It is for Luke. And
It's a problem.
I still haven't transferred the spin casters to the place, so he hasn't even
Yeah, he
seen
didn't have
those.
the spin casting machines for lead jigs yet,
Sweet.
but we got the space now, and
And what's it called?
it's called Monty
Monty-
Bait and Tackle.
Monty Bean and
Monty
Tackle. Yeah.
Bait and
Yep.
Tackle.
It's right across from the saloon and Monty Hotel. So
Yeah,
figured it
Did
was
you say
perfect.
saloon?
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Sweet.
It's 100 and 100 and what now? 112, you said?
112 years old.
Yeah.
A saloon that's 112 years old.
Yes.
Yep, and it's always been a saloon too.
It's always been one. Yep.
That's worth of making a trip to see.
Yeah, in the early
Yeah.
1900s, our building, it's 2-story. We only use the first story, but well, it's actually 3 stories, but that's apartments above. But it was a hardware store in the early 1900s.
Yeah.
Wow.
So kind of cool, kind of big
Sounds
news
like
for
a neat
the
place.
bait shop.
Yeah. All these historic places are really neat.
Mm-hmm.
They're really
They
neat.
are.
So they bring so much character to it, and it just seems perfect for a shop. I really didn't want to open up another shop. I just wanted a place to produce lures, but people started getting word that we were doing that, so they just kept pushing and pushing it. So we just decided, all right, we'll use 900 square feet for a shop, and then now we're using the whole
much
thing.
room.
The more we talk to people, the more they're into it. It's a different area that I don't really know. It's more of a panfishing area. So
Nice.
yeah, we ended up probably using 1,200 square feet now.
We use a lot of
15,000?
space.
1,500 square feet.
It's crazy.
So yeah, that's been hectic, and that's why this podcast room hasn't been worked on.
Sounds like a great time to me.
It's been
Yeah, it's fun.
It's been
when,
hectic.
it's fun when you're putting stuff like that together. It's a great project, and it's just so fun when it starts to come together. Like Luke started working on where we're gonna have all the apparel and where we're gonna make all the hats. He started working in his section, and the more he worked on it, the more excited he was. And then, of course, he started smelling plastic again, and he came over and bitch at me about it. And then I start working on organizing, and then
As we're leaving, Chewy's like, I didn't get anything done today. 5 hours later of making plastics.
Yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do. What about you guys? What's new over there in the Panfish Nation world?
It's hot.
And we have the Panfish Nation tournament going on, multi-channel tournament that we're having. It's a numbers tournament. It's been going pretty good. We've had some big numbers turn out. It's been a lot of fun to be a part of. The top 2 in each one of the days of the event, they go on to the championship, and I'm happy to say I'm going on to the championship.
Hey,
awesome.
there you
That's
go.
awesome.
Of course you
And
are.
I'm not happy to say I haven't got in yet. We got one more shot. We're saving the best for last.
Mm.
I love that.
How does that work, Mark?
Basically what we do is we have 8 people or 9 people, however many, depending on whether there's a co-host or not on screen. The top 2 with the highest numbers, they go on to the championship. If you don't get in, let's say on the first day, which was on my channel, the second day was on Chad's, the third was on Josh's over there at the Weekend Angler, and then now we're going to have Doc host one on the actual Panfish Nation channel. We'll have 8 people competing on the last day for the championship. Whoever catches the most panfish takes it all. So we've been working on that for quite some time. We've been having a lot of fun, and
That sounds like
good.
fun.
It took me 2 times. I mean, the second day I went out there, first day was on mine, and when you're hosting, you're not allowed to compete. Second day I went out there, I put 58 panfish on the bank in 4 hours, and I
Hell
still
yeah.
didn't qualify.
Oh,
We had,
my.
I think Steve Mosley had like 112 or 16
Yeah, it was
that
a
he
big
caught.
number.
Jerry Parker had like in the high 90s, and I came in with 58. So I did qualify. James Dockery took first place in the last one. How many did James have? Like 60 or 50 something? I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
Something like that.
And then I had like 29. I had the 30th on, and I lost it in the weeds. I was trying to get that. So me and him
Dang.
were going to the next final. And
So
Chad and Freddie on the first day, they took it. It was kind of a rough day fishing. Their numbers weren't as high, but they still did.
But high enough to win.
High enough to win. That's all that counts.
So when you guys, when you
And
guys,
some of here's the kicker. Let's say the first pond that I fished, I can't go back to that pond for the next attempt or
Right.
or the championship.
Yeah, every time you fish a body of water, it's dead from that then
Yeah.
on out.
I
till
like
next year.
that.
And it's all artificial. No live,
No live bait.
or dead bait. Nothing.
That
So
sounds
I-
like a lot of
I
fun.
got a question for you guys.
Scott,
What-
you get in.
What pushed you guys away from like so many fish with a weight instead of just as many as you can catch?
Because they're panfish, they're small.
and people are fishing different bodies of water.
Yeah, that's
like,
what I was
Yeah.
thinking. It has to be because some people have places where
Yeah.
there's a lot bigger
Yeah.
panfish, maybe.
Like the second day that I fished, I was catching some monsters, some like averaging 9 inches, 8
Sumos.
inches.
Oh,
They were
dang.
big ones,
Yeah.
and I still put 29 of them on the bank. The first day that I got 48, I don't think I got any that were greater than 6.5, 7 inches. So that just goes to show how different waters, even in my area, are. Let alone different
Yeah.
parts of the country. So it's obviously got to be public waters. You can fish boat or bank, whatever you want, but the main thing is you can't refish the same water twice, and it's got to be on artificial. So there's also other rules like no rage quitting. If you get upset and get upset and rage quit, you're done. You're not welcome back. Things like that. It's been
That's
a good time. It's
good
been a lot.
rule.
Yeah,
Well,
me,
they tried to pin that on Mark, and he just wouldn't accept it.
Yeah.
I was gonna do some shout outs to some people in chat because I know you guys don't have access. Do you guys have access to that?
No.
Yeah, I can shout out everybody on our side. if you
Because-
want.
Yeah.
Well, are we seeing them or ours?
We're seeing theirs. I just
You've
looked on
seen
it.
everybody.
Yeah,
You've seen
because we
everybody.
can't. Our monitor doesn't work, so we're on a laptop and it's like 6 feet away. It's really hard to see. But I saw Sean's in here, Freddie's in here, Avid. What's up, Avid? BOR fishing. We got fishing and stuff in the house. We got a celebrity in here fishing and stuff. What's going on? Get hooked. What's going on? D.
It's D.
D. Are you still mad at me? Are we good, or what's the deal?
What?
But Nubby's catfishing's in the house. We got a whole bunch of people in here. I missed a whole bunch.
Let
We-
Mark do it. He's the master.
Why are you telling me what to do on
He just said
screen?
he's like, I'd love to just do
Here we
it for
go.
you. He said he'd love to do it, and then you just
They
started
can't
popping
highlight.
on.
By the way-
They can't highlight.
By the way, guys,
Comment.
But he
this
can
is
list them off.
Go ahead.
this
list
is the
them
reason.
off.
This is the reason why I didn't want to make the announcement, because I know that halfway through it, he's just gonna shut me up and he's just gonna finish it. So that's why I said you do it.
So I can kind of read. Hey, Avid, he says. Yeah, we're highlighting stuff now. We're really doing it, guys.
We're big
We're
time.
really doing it. I think you're great, Freddie, if that matters. Fields to Water. Is Fields to Water? Is he that guy that does like pottery and like yoga stuff? Fields to Water. Sounds familiar. I don't know
Oh
why.
my gosh.
I feel like he does,
Here we go.
he does
He
aerobics. doesn't he?
crochets.
Oh, he
He
crochets.
does the crochet tutorials.
Yeah,
Uh,
good guy. Fields to Water is a good guy. I'm just kidding, Chad. I love you. That was a joke.
Oh, yikes.
Sure you
Number 5. It's cute. It's a good spot to be in, though. 5's a good number, Chad. Don't feel, when Lyle says you're number 5, don't feel bad about it. It's just part of life.
Luke, Chad says little brother Luke is dead to me.
Can you click on Fields to Water?
this one.
Yep, and click the 3 buttons.
There's no 3 buttons.
No, you can do it. There's 3 buttons if you unhide it. Hold on. Unhide that. Hide that, and then click the 3 buttons.
Okay.
Can you time him out for about 300 seconds?
Oh my gosh,
Oh, we
do
can't.
not.
I don't even think you can do it, Luke. I think he's on our side. So
I can't.
Crochet
Water,
to
shade of water.
Oh, make a t-shirt. That's awesome.
That's funny.
I was gonna say that,
Should make a
Yeah, you don't
t-shirt
have
with
a
that
prayer in
Photoshop
this one.
picture there.
Yep.
Oh, man.
So I just want to know, what did you guys think of my thumbnail today? Did you like it or no?
I
know.
thought it
I'm
was
like,
very
I got
cute.
ideas for revenge already in the
What do you mean
already in the
revenge?
works.
That's like me putting you on the biggest pedestal in the world, putting your
First
faces on that
off,
picture.
I'm taller than Lyle, so you got
That's what I said. I was about to tell him. I think they're the other way around.
But if that makes Lyle feel good, so be it. No,
Like I say, I thought it was very well done and tasteful.
Dude, I haven't
got
put a
some message about it, but I thought it was extremely funny. Of course, I consider that one of the greatest series of movies ever made. I
Right.
never miss one.
Every
year I
Even
gotta
the
watch.
ones, I don't miss them either.
I mean, I haven't put a shadow behind Mark's beard. I mean, I went all out on it. It's no joke.
I'm honored.
Yeah. You're just mad that you're
I'm
short.
honored? Question mark.
Damn.
Northerners.
Oh man, there's Maurice Cason's joined us. Man, that's awesome.
Maurice is my. If some of you don't know, if you're watching from Old Carver podcast, he's like the longest Northwoods live, my longest live fishing supporter in the last 10 years. He's been there for every live stream I used to go on.
That's
More than
awesome.
me.
Maurice is good people. Did you know that he's
You and
Chad's
Lyle
arch
are pretty
enemy?
close.
What was that, Mark?
Did you know he's Chad's arch enemy?
Oh.
Oh. I don't know
What is
that.
this about?
I'm not sure. Sean
is
T. Can we get a little
I was gonna say I just got
let's
A
talk
little
let's
insight?
talk a little panfish today. We're going to talk a little bit about Tara's. Well, we'll talk about Tara's trip a little bit to Canada. She was just in Ontario
yeah.
a little bit ago. Did a fly-in trip. Well, I'll let her tell you about it. Go
Yeah.
ahead,
So
Tara.
I went up to Ontario with my family and did a fly-in trip through Nestor Falls Fly-in Outpost. And last year we had gone to a smallmouth lake and just caught tons. It was a quantity lake. Caught tons of smallmouth. Caught my first muskie there on a smallmouth. And then this year we went to a trophy pike lake, and it was an hour and a half on the bush plane. Is that what you call it?
It is a boat.
Yeah.
It's a float plane.
The float plane. Sorry, there's a bug. And this lake had pike and walleye in it. And first day we went out and I threw this giant spoon that I literally bought last minute because I thought it was ridiculous. I was like, what's
Can
gonna
you
eat
hold
this?
for 1 second?
What's up?
Just so you guys know, this pike lake has pike over 50 inches in it. there's giant, like enormous pike in this lake.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Massive pike in this lake. And so we went out and I threw this giant spoon. Like I said, it seemed ridiculous to me. It looked like a big musky bait. I don't know. Anyways, threw it out there. And then it was probably my second fish was 37.5 inches. And it was awesome. It's on our YouTube channel, Rods and Reloads. That's our video for today. My goal was to get a 40. I didn't quite get there, but every single fish was 33 and up, pretty much, with the exception of a few. And so, yeah, it was a really great trip. Walleye fishing was really funny. You would only go fish for walleye right before you wanted to catch walleye for lunch or dinner because it would take 5 minutes to get what you needed. So
Not
it was
like here.
No, not like here. Not like here. Walleye is not my forte, so it was a great
Mine
confidence
either.
booster for me.
Yeah.
And then another tidbit from the trip, I saw a black bear for the first time. And it was sweet. And it was gnawing through the gut bucket in the middle of the night outside the cabin.
That's fun.
So those were the big highlights of my trip. We were there for a week, came back. Yeah, now it's back to the river.
And we do leave, you guys, me, Lyle, and Mark. Me and Tara leave in 2 weeks to go fish alligator gar in Texas with Milton.
Yeah.
So we're excited to do that.
Lyle loves gar as much as he loves ice fishing.
He just shakes his head.
Lyle, did you watch my recent catch and cook of the gar?
I tried to watch it. When you tried to eat it, I had to turn you off. There's only about one thing I can think of more disgusting than gar, and that's rum.
Oh yeah, he's eating them both.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah,
like
Luke can eat anything. There's no question in my mind. He will eat anything.
I don't eat that weirdest stuff.
I mean, he'll try everything, anything.
I will
once.
try
Yeah,
everything.
he will.
I won't eat olives. I won't eat sauerkraut.
Oh
That is
yeah.
the list.
I eat
Oh,
sauerkraut,
come
but no
on.
olives. I mean, they're
Sauerkraut's
disgusting.
disgusting. I had this stuff called kimchi recently.
That's the
Heard of
bomb.
that.
It is disgusting.
What is it?
No,
It's
you're
pickled
wrong.
cabbage with chili in it. It's that stuff that got.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Oh, it's so
It's
nasty.
delicious.
It's fermented.
You know, I make a
cabbage.
tartar
Fermented.
sauce with kimchi in it. That's
So,
fantastic.
so, Luke, how was the gar?
Flavor was excellent. It had zero fishy flavor. It was just very like tough and dense.
Do you even know what fish is supposed to taste like?
You know what? You know what my state. You know our state fish is a walleye, Lyle. I don't know if you know that.
Well, the walleye's pretty good. It's not crappie by no means, and it sure ain't no bluegill, but they're not bad.
Yeah,
My favorite fish to eat by far is pike if it's deboned
pike
correctly.
are
What?
great.
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
it's
Redfish.
Pike
You know
We
what?
talked about this yesterday.
No, for Minnesota.
Oh.
We
You have to
um,
get somebody that really knows how to get rid of them because I understand they are really full of bones.
Yeah, if you get the bigger, the easier it is to do it. I mean, that's just the
That's
way it
probably
is.
right. Yeah,
I
that's
just
about
try to
what they
use
get,
the
though.
like what is it called, the 5 fillet method? You know, when
Yeah,
you
that's
cut
what I
the
do too.
back off, that's how I do it, and they usually come
Yeah.
out without any bones, so I don't have any problems.
I'll tell you
Yeah.
how I do it. I just don't worry about it.
Well,
I eat something else.
I pickle pike. I
pick 'em
pickle
out.
pike as well, and pickling pike just disintegrates the bones.
Yeah.
I was
you
going
don't have
to
to worry
say that
about it.
gets rid of all the bones. Yeah.
I got a picture real quick of Tara's pike.
Oh yeah, pull her up.
Oh
Yeah, there's a-
wow.
Wow,
Yeah,
giant.
there
Beauty.
she is. It was huge.
Yeah, you see that thumb?
That's
See that
great.
thumbnail? The thumbnail she made for her video today. It's a pretty sick thumbnail. I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
gonna
That
lie.
was.
For the Rods and Reels video?
Man,
Yeah.
with that mouth open on that fish looked just like James Dockery.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hey, you know, I tried flathead for the first time when I went out fishing with Luke, and it was
What are you
pretty
talking
tasty.
about? I've never killed a
pretty
flathead.
tasty.
Oh,
Why would you
Pretty
ever
tasty.
say that on a public podcast?
Flathead
one.
are the king of cats for more than one reason.
No, they're delicious.
They
They're
are really
great to
good.
catch.
my last
And most
flathead
fun
might have
to
been 5 pounds, and I threw that thing out of instinct right back in the water. And the next day, I was thinking flathead nuggets, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's-
No, this
Like
one
the
he
perfect
he had no choice for this one.
I haven't even
It
cooked
was-
them a flathead like in a controlled area. This was at 1 a.m. in my boat, and the oil was full of bugs. Nothing was working. The batter did not stick because I got everything soaking wet. So I'm gonna recook them some flathead. Hopefully coming up here.
I thought it was good.
I mean, it was
It
good, but
was really good.
it's way better when I cook it right. We'll just say
It's
that.
it's really good. I just got. By the way, I got a message from James Dockery. He's not happy about my comment. at all. And we'll leave it at that.
Did you guys see our video eating silver carp in Missouri?
I did.
I did.
They're not bad.
No, they
Yeah.
tasted good. There's just so many damn bones. I could not
Bones,
believe
You know,
it.
well, there's a way to get rid of them. You have to fillet them. And
I mean, I
you
did
got to
fillet
pour
them.
them real close together, real close.
Oh.
All I heard is because you can get 100 in your boat in an hour if they're really jumping good.
Oh yeah,
People are saying how you could actually just cut the whole back loin off and chuck them in the water and cook the back loin because it's completely boneless.
that's correct. That's the part I use for bait. But now, the fact of the matter is that you was on Mark about not staying up there and seeing you. You come to Missouri.
Yep.
And how many times have you ever been there?
Wow, we were a long ways from you.
If you was in the States, you wasn't that far.
I mean, we were in we were near
Brownville-ish, kind of.
we were like 40 miles north of St. Joe.
Okay, what's the point?
How far is that from you? How far is that from you?
About 3.5 hours.
That's a long drive. We had already driven 7.5.
I would have done it for you, Luke.
All right. Well, next time I'm gonna have you just come meet us.
Yeah, come on camping.
It's so funny because my best friend from high school, was out on the Ozarks that weekend. And he invited us to come down, and he was wakeboarding and stuff like that. But
Oh yeah,
we wanted to fish.
That's where I fish a lot.
Lake of the Ozarks got some good fishing.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
you
dude.
I've
Scott's
seen some
fished out
videos
there.
of Lake of the Ozarks,
It's
and
a
I
little
have
tough
no
right
interest to go in there whatsoever.
Really?
Why?
Right now, it's a
So
little tough
busy on
with
the
all
north
the big
side,
boats.
ain't it?
It's the number one tourist lake in the entire United States.
Mm.
Is it?
So you can imagine the amount of boats that's on it. Big boats, pleasure boats, boats that swamp you.
Houseboats.
Oh,
Boats that
gosh.
have clueless people driving
You're
them.
right.
Yeah, we have the same.
Most of them is correct. They come from St. Louis, Kansas City, and places like that.
Yeah.
But they did. But there is areas of the lake that you can go and get away from some of that. Most of it, you go to the small end, not the big end. Never go to the big end of Lake Ozark.
Especially if you fish the fall, you don't have to worry about anybody.
Yeah.
Well, the later in the year, it gets after Memorial Weekend, it settles down a lot, but you still got some.
Ted.
How's the panfishing been down by you guys?
Been excellent for me.
It's been good. I've been on them like mad. I just haven't been chasing any crappie, but I've been chasing a lot of bluegills. I've been trying to find even bigger ones than the ones in that one spot. So we'll see. I caught a couple of nice ones. I got like a 10.5 incher just 2 days ago. I was out scoping a
Jeez.
spot, but that's the only one I got. So it just might have been the one. So we'll see.
I've got a
Still
spot.
I'm looking constantly looking for bait spots, panfish spots, and right now I'm looking for a new bullhead spot because they kind of destroyed my other one. So I've been coming across some pretty interesting places to fish. So
Yeah, I saw you're out doing flathead lives a lot more often now.
yeah, that's good when I'm out there by myself. Everybody helps keep me company, and it's slow here on my river. It's pretty populated, but I do what I can. I like to keep everybody chatting in the chat room, and
Yeah.
How's
We
the-
enjoy it.
How's the new boat?
the boat is fantastic.
Yeah,
Like
you got-
you've been
Still got
breaking it
stuff
in
to
good.
put on. I still got to get my live scope mounted up, and I'm considering getting a shallow water anchor for it. So I still got some work to do. I'm actually taking the wife out for the first time tomorrow. Pleasure boating of all freaking things.
Oh.
oh yeah.
So
I think I'm possibly pulling the trigger on a new graph tomorrow. So
there you go. What are you getting?
I think I'm gonna I want to get a Helix 12 Mega Gen 4.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Mine came with a Helix 9, and I kept it on there just to control the trolling motor. And if I get a shallow water anchor, I'll use it for that. But I'm having all sorts of issues trying to get one not to interfere with the other one. And the guys over at Russell Marine are helping me out. So big
Oh,
shout
that's
out
nice.
to
That's
Justin
awesome.
and Josh over there. So,
You want to know where that shallow water anchor will help you out? Is that place in Wisconsin that we go to?
oh, not just that. This whole river that I fish flatheads on, I mean, it's average 4 to 5 feet. That's about it. So,
Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy.
How-
That sounds like fun.
Those shallow
Yeah.
water anchors. Now, how deep can they go?
you can
how-
get them up to 15 feet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought you could even go to 20 now.
I didn't see those. I don't know. I haven't really looked at
I haven't
power.
heard that.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy though. They're nice. They're like the same material that we have in our manual anchor poles, but they extend and go out. It's
And
kind of cool.
I would love to not have to manually anchor pull.
Not getting an anchor pole.
Well, my whole argument point here at home is that that anchor chain, because I use an anchor chain at the very beginning, like the proper way, like you're supposed to. I keep worrying to death I'm going to scratch up my new boat, and I think I got the wife on board that purchase, so we'll see for that reason. So
Polarized sunglasses and fishing dirt in the shallow slop for crappies.
Yep.
It's Corey.
Yeah, you guys like that.
Corey's the man.
Garmin
Y'all
is the
are
new
into it.
Humminbird.
Like that.
I'm getting rid of my Garmin fishing stuff. Do you want to buy mine?
Yeah, I will too. There's nothing that beats a bird. Period.
I don't hate my Garmin. I don't hate my Garmin until I go in my buddy's boat with the Helix Mega, and I'm like, oh god, what have I been missing?
Lyle, why do you feel that way?
Because they're easy to use. They got the greatest. If you have issues, you can call them up. They'll walk you through it. The others are not like that, and you just don't have any trouble with them. If it's not broke, you don't fix it. They got the greatest quality of all of them. I've had Lowrance's, and I got to tell you, if it fit right up my patoot perfectly, I'd never own another one. They are horrible. And you can call them on the phone, and they ain't never going to tell you how to fix anything ever.
Right. And then they got Journey is really good with Humminbird. So anytime I've ever had issues with my other Humminbird
He's
that I
really
used to have,
yeah.
he's helped me so many times with my bird. He'd help me fine tune that thing. It was beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah, I got 2 Ultra Garmin's on my boat, and I got the 9-inch Humminbird Helix, and I'm not going to say my opinion because I might upset Lyle. So
Well, the Ultra is another story. You got the good with the good transducer. Mine does not have that, and I do not have an Ultra.
That's what you need.
Yeah. But whatever. I mean, I'm gonna fork out some money maybe here, and hopefully I'll find out tomorrow if I'm gonna get it. So I don't know yet. We'll find
I
out.
mean, you got all the money in the whole wide world, don't you?
I have a ton of money.
That's what I figured. Yeah.
I'm actually broke.
Well, he will be when he comes back from Texas.
You keep fishing, you'll always be broke.
I don't know.
Yep.
Need to work more. It's hard. I make $12.25 an hour, and I got to work a lot of hours to go on trips. Let me tell you.
Well, you know.
Gotta do what you
can
gotta
always
do.
get you an OnlyFans account.
Well, I just don't promote it.
he's so
Oh my
popular he doesn't have
gosh.
to, Lyle.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What I've been doing is actually sneaking pictures of Tara's feet when we're fishing and then posting them. She doesn't know. Onlyfeet.com.
Probably.
Oh boy! So what are you guys? Are you guys targeting these bluegill? Are you guys using artificial baits, or are you guys using light bait?
I've been fly fishing.
Oh,
Fly fishing.
Nice.
I've been fly fishing the Niagara River, and I don't get no signal there, so I can't use it in our contest where we're trying to qualify for the year-end deal because there's no phone signal. But in these hot days, we've been having 97, 98, 99, some 100-degree stuff. They're up underneath this bridge in the shade, and you can throw any topwater fly underneath there, and they fight to get it. And it's just a friggin' blast.
That sounds like a
But
lot
you
of
can't
fun.
stay out there too long because it's just so damn hot.
yeah.
That's because Lyle lives in
Look on
Hades, Missouri.
Big one.
I do live in pretty hot downtown Buffalo.
I've been using artificials. If it's not some hand ties that Lyle sent me, I'm using the Berkeley Gulp products. Those you can't beat them.
Hey,
those
this Berkeley
gulps
Gulp
kick
catch the
butt.
fish, but with a fly rod, you got to be able to get to the fish. And we found out the last place we fished in one of the tournaments, there was plenty of fish there. I was using a fly rod in it. But you can't cast down underneath a dock with it because they're 8.5 feet long.
Yeah.
And that's where all the fish was at. The majority of them was underneath the dock in the shade. It's just so hot.
Mm.
That's what you need one of them cordless circular saws for, Lyle, is those docks.
I'm pretty sure the Missouri Department of Conservation is not going to go for that.
Lyle, is your
I do have one.
Lyle, is your tournament through Fish Donkey?
No, it's just through the channel where you
It's
do
just
it.
through our channel. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It was a brainchild of James Dockery, and it's a lot of fun. We've had a lot of people enter, and if the next one that comes up, if we get more people than we have slots for, we'll go to the green wheel, and then you have to be chosen to be in that tournament.
Oh,
And they're all like that.
Ooh.
Say we have 8 openings, and there's 25 people that want to in it. Then if you don't get pulled out of the green wheel, you don't get in. And the green wheel is called the green wheel because Mike Green, never gets drawn out.
Never.
So
no.
we just get after him.
That's funny.
That
You
is
know,
funny.
I ain't never been drawn out either, but I have been chosen by some of the guys in different tournaments.
Yeah, everybody always targets Lyle whenever they get picked, so he doesn't even get a chance to win. So
Hey, Lyle, I kind of want to come at you here kind of hard.
Let's have it.
Well, here's the thing. Can I get a promise from you? I want a promise from you that you're coming to Wisconsin next year.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good.
Okay, we can
Yeah,
screen record
absolutely.
this.
Yeah, someone save that.
Yep.
I'll just send it to him every week until we go.
Yeah, it was really painful that we didn't get to come up there this year, but we'll be there next year. And I don't know if you knew, Luke, but the flotation I boat got soaked in water, and I pulled all that out, and I tried really hard to get it back together in time, but I didn't. And come to find out, as soon as I got it in, the first time I go to the water, my trolling motor didn't work. So we ended up having to get a new
Dang.
trolling motor, but we're ready to go now. So I can't
Well, that'll
wait.
be a fun one.
Oh, it's always fun up there.
Hmm.
It's
That'll be a
always
fun
fun up there. I love catching those giant channel cats.
I might be up there very soon, so we'll see what happens here.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I want
If I
to time
lived
it.
2.5 hours there, I'd be there at least a couple times a month.
Oh, 100%.
Yep.
100%. Go find that elusive giant lake sturgeon in there. Really
Oh, I
send
got
it home.
I got plans to go sturgeon fishing, probably hit Sauk or the Wisconsin River, so I'm looking forward to
yeah.
that too.
Yeah, Wisconsin in
Flatheads
general.
there.
Wisconsin in general's got some big sturgeon. A lot of
Yep.
like Yellow Lake and whatever the other ones
Oh
are.
yeah, yellow. I've heard of that.
Are they long nose?
I fished that one.
They're the lake sturgeon.
Just the lake
Lake
sturgeon.
sturgeon?
Then you can try to break my Wisconsin state record.
That's what
Mark.
that's the plan. The plan is a 30 pound channel cat and a 2-inch sturgeon, or 72
No,
inch.
you'd have to
sturgeon.
get a 77 3/4 to break my record.
78 it is. We'll put
Yeah.
Let's see if I got room for a replica behind me. Yeah. I can
Yeah.
probably figure that out.
Yep.
Somebody needs to learn how to make those replicas at a more reasonable price.
Yeah, it's just a lot of. It's hard
It's
because
tedious.
like even the guy that did my big catfish. I mean, he's 2 years back. He's one of the best in the whole Midwest. He's amazing, and like he said, the big catfish like that without scales is just so tedious to get coloring right, so it doesn't look stupid.
And you want it right. You're spending the money to get it. You want it to look
Right.
like you posted it.
Yeah.
Right, and I couldn't be more happy. And as the first catfish he ever mounted was mine, and it turned out insane.
Yeah. Eric's
Yeah, that thing
a
looks pretty good.
phenomenal
The
Yeah, it
picture
looks
of
nice.
I've seen it looks really good. I'm fortunate enough. The guy next door to me, his father's a taxidermist. He's like, yeah, I talked to him actually last week. He's like, when you get that big fish, you let me know. I'll set you up. So he's pretty
Oh,
good.
that's awesome.
He's
Heck
been
yeah.
doing it for
I have,
50 years, so I trust him.
I have the measurements to that channel cat I caught up there in Wisconsin, around here someplace.
Yeah. Well, what did it weigh? 29.
29.9. Just
Oh
shy.
my gosh.
That would break my heart so bad.
You can manipulate scales, but what's the point? If you do,
Right.
you know it's not a 30.
Yeah, I couldn't
it's
do
not
it.
a 30.
I'm with you.
So
I'd maybe
that's why I haven't got it mounted because I want a 30.
I would maybe dip it in the water
That's what I
one
was
time, and then maybe I'd feel okay about it.
Dipper in.
Dip
It's
it
a
in the water.
29.9. It's not a 30.
In the
At
water.
least you don't
it's
do
30
like the
pounds.
walleye guys did. That's all that
It
counts.
was a
All
giant. Luke, that was 12 or 13 years ago now.
Yeah, you're due for a 30 now.
That's what I think so.
That's such a special fish. People don't realize how special of a fish that is.
Yeah.
Like when you go to so it's interesting when you go to like Selkirk, Manitoba. or Lockport. If you guys don't know where that is, it's the northernmost region before Lake Winnipeg of the Red River. He talked to all these people in the red. They're like, oh yeah, I got a 30-pounder. Oh, I got a 40-incher. You didn't, for one. There is a number, quite a large number of 30-pound channel cats in Selkirk. I'm not going to lie, but everyone just catches 26s, 27s, and 28s and says they catch 30s. But throwing that number around is dangerous because it's such a special number.
I've had people tell me I've got a 42-pounder. I'm like, yeah, let's see.
Right? Yeah, I'd love to see that.
The Red River, I love fishing that place. We never got in to the giants when we was up there. We caught a lot of fish.
Yeah,
not enough to win that tournament, but we caught great fish. It was a lot of fun up there. It's a great river to fish, but there's something special about where you was talking about Lockport. That place has got to be. I hate to say this because I've not been there, but it's got to be the number one channel cat spot in the world
for average fish. I mean,
for average fish,
you can catch with 3 guys, 3 rods because you only use 1 rod. 3 guys, you can catch 100 fish in a day, and they average 18-pound average.
Yeah,
I mean, it's stupid.
Where else can you do that? I mean, we've got big averages caught up there in Wisconsin, but nothing like that.
Yeah, it's just it is so special. And I remember when first time we ever went to Selkirk, we had never fished below the dam, and the first fish we pulled up was like a 26 or 27 Peter caught. It was like, this is insane.
Yeah,
it is. Hey, what did you tell me that one time you guys all went up there? That in 4 days you caught 5,000 pounds of fish.
Oh, dude, we caught.
It was insane.
We caught over 2,000 pounds in a day. I mean, it's just dumb.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, it's stupid.
I know guys that fish their whole life and don't catch that many blue cat in a week.
And they really made it tough for us now, Lyle and Mark. You can no longer bring dead, frozen, any bait across the Canadian border. So we can no longer bring frogs. We can't bring anything anymore.
So you have to use what you get up there.
Can you buy bait up there that you need, or do you got to
buy bait? I would rather just catch goldeye. That's probably your best bet below the dam. Yeah. But I mean, we used to bring 200 frogs with us when we would go there and fish, and we'd use most of them and then give the rest that we didn't use to people on shore, people that wanted to fish. Because a lot of people there run like shrimp and like other stuff. Like frog is just untouchable on the Red River. It's just there's Lyle knows this. There's nothing that beats frogs on the Red, in my opinion.
They're pretty good bait. I learned from a little kid one time when I was up there my first trip.
Yeah, it's but then we tried them on Mendota and we could not catch a channel cat on them. We only caught bullheads on frogs.
massive.
Places are so weird like that. I mean, I brought skipjack back up here, frozen skipjack, tried it on our river, not even a bite for 2 days. Nothing touched it.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
And then I see people using trout and stuff, and we got a stocker program. So, I mean, if you're paying to use it, I've tried trout and channel cat or flathead, nothing will touch it either. They just want what they want from the looks of it. So
that's why I think
what they're used to eating.
I think an underlooked bait here on the Minnesota is sheephead, your freshwater drum.
Wow, I'm so glad you didn't say chicken.
I have tried drum live. I've tried it cut. Nothing. Never had any luck with it. Never.
Really?
I went to the St. Croix. This is turning into Catfish Weekly here. Went to the St. Croix and used my first drum that was like very large. Like you would think that you'd have eaten it. It was so big. I threw it on a big J hook and it got swallowed in the night when we were sleeping. And it sat there with it in its mouth. I set the hook and I missed it, but I pulled that fish up. It was, I don't know what the legal size is, so I'm not going to say how big it is because I don't remember how big my bait can be. But the whole thing was rashed, and that's where the 70-pound state record came from, that same body of water. And I didn't catch it, but something swallowed my sheephead past to the tail, and it spit it or something happened. I think I was just too late.
Man, if I can get like 6 to 9 inch baby carp, I'm a happy man. I'll fish them all night.
I wish
live hooks under a float, and that's money over here for some reason.
I wish we could use carp as bait.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, they're great bait.
that'd be
Well, they
wonderful.
One
stink.
day.
Mm-hmm.
It's good
Maybe
stuff.
have an odor to them, you know.
I've only ever caught one fish on a drum, a flathead.
I never caught
Breathe
anything
in
on
it?
it.
It's a decent cut bait. It's just not very bloody. That's the only thing.
It's not very bloody at all.
No,
I believe that I have a gallon of skipjack oil.
really.
If I was going to inject fish, it would have to be a drum because nothing bites them nasty bastards. And you can inject them with that skipjack oil, and maybe you could get a bite on it. You know what I mean?
I'll bite a skit. I'll bite a drum. I've eaten one. You know that.
I know. God damn.
I'm just going through.
I've
the
never
list of
eaten
weird
drum.
ones.
I'll try it maybe once. We'll see how bad it
I
is.
thought it was
You know,
fine.
all white meat. It's all white meat.
100% all white and flaky.
Yeah, it is, and they're not as bad about the bones as some of the others.
The
No, I just
smaller
take-
ones are
I would
full of
eat
bones.
one.
I know
I
that
just-
just by using them for bait.
No, I filleted them, ribbed them out, and then zippered them like I zip all my walleyes, and there was no bones in it.
really.
And yeah, 0 bones. And if I would have thrown that fish in probably like a walleye fish fry, nobody would have known the difference.
Just cook them on a piece of pine wood, and then throw the fish away and eat the wood.
You
Well,
need
there-
to test that theory next year when you see Lyle and me in Wisconsin. We'll see
Oh.
what we can.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
cook. I'll cook you
You
guys
do
up
that.
some drum, some gar. You guys won't even know the difference.
I'm going to the restaurant that night.
Some snapping turtle.
Snapping turtle, yeah, that'd be good too.
I've had some of that. That's pretty good,
I've
actually.
heard the soup's
I like
really
it
good.
too. Snapping turtle in
I've never
general.
had soup.
I made a
I
cream
never
of
had it.
I made cream of mushroom with snapping turtle. The first one I ever cleaned, the only one I've ever cleaned, because it is a struggle and it is a long
heard.
process.
Cream of
Yeah.
mushroom is like a Minnesota thing, isn't it? Those hot dishes all got
Oh,
cream
yeah.
of mushroom.
Yeah, they do.
You're right about that.
Cindy uses it all the time.
I use it in tater tot hot dish. I use it in anything. It's delicious.
Yeah. Does work really well.
I agree. Y'all wouldn't know difference of fish when I made it. Yeah, Nicole. Speaking
That's
of
Isn't she a
making,
Great fish right there.
so she makes scones. She does like
Oh yeah.
festivals and makes like custom fancy flavored scones, and I still haven't tried one of her scones yet. And
They're,
Yeah, she
they're
brought some in.
phenomenal.
are they
Really?
She
amazing?
brought some
Yeah,
in
they're
and
good.
Luke wasn't here.
They're really good.
Doesn't she live near you, Luke? She should bring some by.
She lives like 15, 20 minutes from here, I think.
Yeah,
Oh
not
wow,
that far.
yeah.
Yeah. I want her to make me a raspberry cheesecake scone. That's what I want.
I'm with Matt. Let's have some New England clam chowder.
Oh, that sounds good.
That does
That's
sound
what I'm
good.
talking about right there.
That sounds really good.
Have you guys ever tried crayfish for channels?
You can't in Minnesota.
You can't in Minnesota.
I've tried them. They can sell the soft shell ones, the pond craws they call them here at the bait shops, and all I do is pick up smallmouth. The smallmouth pick them up before a cat will get
I was
to
gonna
'em.
say I used to hammer smallmouth on them down south.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
down there in the Muddy River, back in New Mexico, that's one of the ones that's what we mainly use really. It's crayfish.
Yeah, we have like different species, so they outlawed them to use as
but
bait.
I thought you were allowed
Yeah.
I thought if you trap them in the river, you can use them in the river.
No, some are invasive, like the rusty crawfish, I think.
Yeah.
And they're not going to trust people to distinguish the species difference, I don't think.
Because the book states that you can use crawfish as bait as long as you trap it and use it in the area that you trap
I would
it
have
in.
to read that. I'm not going to state that as a fact.
I just did because I read it.
Chewy read it. So if you guys get pulled over,
Are you paying attention?
tell them Chewy said you can.
That's right.
I was
just read
told
it.
you can't.
I just read it because we looked into it and because people want us to sell the preserved, so we looked into it and I read it. Tara's gonna look it up. I know her already.
Yep.
She's really good. She's going to Google it, but
Thank
it
you,
doesn't
Tara.
come from the state.
I'm gonna
Go to
look
the,
in the,
No.
the book.
MMDNR. Look
No,
at the
no.
MMDNR, and it's gonna.
Oh,
But yeah, but
yeah.
crayfish, with we didn't use it whole. We only used the tail part of it, just the tail, and we used to catch carp, channel cats. That's really the only thing that's
Good
there.
channel cat, baby.
Flatheads were really not
I
a
used to
thing
run
back when I was
power
still in
baits
New
versions,
Mexico.
too.
I know you can eat them.
You have to have a permit to do it, but if you have the permit to do it, you can do it.
No,
Is it
that's
bait
that's
or eat
to
them?
eat.
Well,
Probably
That's-
just a
that's-
catch. I
That's
guess.
to take it home to eat.
We'll look
But
at
That's
man,
bait.
this is the old Carver podcast, and Mark and I are guests on their show tonight.
Yeah,
And
you're
we just
damn right.
combined the two. So you get to see us and them, and they get to see you. But you're in here watching our show. So hope you enjoy this. We're having a ball.
It's always fun when you guys are on.
Is Chewy the dude that makes tackle? No, that is his brother Crunchy.
Don't steal my joke.
He spelt it wrong.
So we got to promote it different.
That's usually how everybody spells my name when they text me.
That's funny.
Licensed
So-
anglers may collect any crayfish for use as bait on the same water body.
Thank you.
You're so good, Chewy.
Thank you. Don't
No.
ever doubt me ever when
Make
we're
my
live.
heart melt.
Don't ever doubt me when we're live. Ever.
So I wonder if- yo,
You remember down at Alabama when we had that great crawfish cook down there with the people from down south?
I do remember.
Yo,
That's a whole nother world there.
they fixed up 3 cookers full of crawfish and brought them up from southern part of Alabama.
Three
Alabama.
hookers?
What?
Did you know that when we were
They brought 3 hookers?
no
Cookers.
Oh, cookers!
That's what I heard hookers too.
That's another story, Chewy.
You know, our first trip to Alabama, we were fishing winter blues with Big Dave, and that's when we met Josh Broderick, and he actually brought a smoker, a charcoal grill, and cooked us some barbecue.
He's a great barbecue cooker.
Oh, he's so good.
Yeah.
Tara's had his Fiorellas from Jack Stack. His barbecue is crazy good.
That guy?
Yeah.
Oh, he's so nice.
Yeah.
He's like such a great human.
Yep. Chewy's been there too, haven't you now?
Hmm.
Jack Stack barbecue.
But you're right there again, Luke.
Is that where we
Oh,
went
that
to
was
eat?
the Catfish Conference.
That's where we went
Wow.
to eat at camp.
Could have
Yeah,
stopped
that-
on and seen me on the
Scotty.
way home.
Scotty was with us too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
we
was
didn't
really
see you there,
good.
Lyle. What the hell?
Pardon me?
Were you at the Catfish Conference?
Not the last year.
Not
Yeah.
last year, but the year before he was.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
No, he wasn't there when we went.
No, he was in
In
Louisville.
Kentucky.
wasn't he?
Yeah. Louisville.
I don't remember, Lyle. My age is my mind is
I just remember Lyle did a seminar at the one that we went to.
Oh, cool.
Lyle did.
I thought
No,
so.
Lyle. It was
Lyle did not do a seminar.
That was
That's when I was at. We run shows. We done shows every day, all day long, and I was the judge in the catfish cook-off.
Yeah, I need to get in
Yeah.
that.
Oh, dude, that was so good.
I'd love to be a
I didn't
judge.
pick
How do you
the
get to be a judge for that?
we got to get Luke in that contest.
winner.
I got asked to be a judge once.
Why wouldn't you?
No, he told me I could do it, but I ended up not going.
It was fun. It was a
But
lot of fun.
I'd love to cook some fish against some other folk. That'd be fun.
Yeah, this year we're going right.
We're going. I'm all in
I mean,
for,
we're gonna
for Louisville.
because they're also doing the panfish part too, right?
Yeah, it'll be panfish and catfish now. I think
Yeah.
crappie
So-
and panfish, or crappie and catfish.
Yeah,
Cra-
they made it.
crappie,
Yeah,
Oh, crappie.
Yeah.
crappie.
crappie,
No,
Crappie.
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 Don't make
Crappie,
me call
crappie.
Dave Winkleman to set you straight because he'll tell you.
That's right.
Hey, Mark, I have a random compliment for you. I was scrolling through TikTok the other day, and I came across this live stream of this dude catfishing, and he had maybe 75 people in his chat. And I was just observing. I wasn't talking or anything. And they were like, "Oh, have you guys heard of catfish and crappie?" And they were like, "It's so good.
I know what
It's
he's
on
talking
YouTube."
about, yeah.
Yeah. And everyone in the chat was so jacked up about catfish and crappie. And I was like, "You guys, I know that guy."
I don't believe you.
No, I'm serious. It happened, and it was really cool.
Dude, she doesn't just compliment people out of the
Yeah,
blue.
yeah.
I do though.
It's
But
true.
Here's a story. I went with some friends and my wife. We went to go see Santana at this outdoor music venue here in a really, really super rich part of the Chicagoland area. I mean, you got to pay 10 grand to get on the donor program over there. I had one of my clients get us some tickets. We got in there and people even recognized me there.
yeah.
And I kind of never know how to act when people do that. That was really strange.
That's awesome.
That was a good time though. I might have some guy who owns a distillery recognized me, and so I might be having a whiskey sponsor. So I'm looking
Oh, that's
Hell
sweet.
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
a deal. So
That's sweet.
So I never know how to deal with that, but I appreciate it when anybody ever says anything good.
I just hug whoever notices me. I just hug them.
Oh,
You do not.
I don't.
You do not.
I will, you
Talking
hug me, I'm gonna me too you.
No, it's funny when Luke and I are out places and somebody might recognize them. All of a sudden, you hear one of the YouTube videos. They go on their phone, and all of a sudden you
They
hear
gotta
like
make sure it's
the
me.
hymn of an old YouTube video, and then they go, "Oh, it is him."
Dude, I can tell you what, that old blue cat video, my big blue, never expires because this year, was it this year? Last year.
I don't know what you're talking
Last
about.
year we were fishing the channel in Wisconsin. There's the people that weren't with us.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and then this year at the ramp, somebody knew who I
No,
was.
they were the same people.
Oh, it
We saw
was.
him twice.
And he said, "Are you the guy that caught that big catfish a couple years ago?" I was like, "Jeez, you guys recognize me." And then sometimes you'll hear my music or my videos start playing. I'll hear my voice. I'm like, "Oh gosh, they're looking me up to see if it's me."
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty good, Luke. But Cindy and I we pulled into the ramp in Memphis, Tennessee, and Bill Dance was backing his boat into the water, and he stopped and walked over to our truck and started talking to us.
You got me beat. I don't do
That's
Bill
the
Dance.
greatest story of all. That was a lot of fun.
My coolest one ever
I met Bill Dance
was
when
when
I was a
we
kid.
when we went to Texas. We pulled in at a gas station in the middle of Texas, and somebody knew who we were. The first person that came up to us.
I had a guy stop when we stopped at a gas station going to Owensboro one year, and it was right before you had to go to the Sea Art tournament. And he had just bought a boat from a guy that I knew, a Sea Art, and he offered me to take it down there because I had a monster cat. I didn't have a Sea Art, and I said, they won't let me take it. I got home from that trip, and there was a message in my email where he said, I was serious about you taking my boat. If you can make it work, please come and get it and go fish the Sea Art tournament. He just bought it.
That's what you want.
Wow.
And
That's awesome.
of course you can't do that. They won't let you do it. But and he was a deputy sheriff in whatever county it was we stopped in.
Dang.
Well,
Nobody knows who I am.
everyone.
There's my
Either.
story.
They don't know me.
Everyone knows.
Fishing, they'll know you.
Exactly.
No, I've been out to places with Luke, and then Luke walks away, and then they'll come and ask me, "Hey, is that Luke?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's Luke." Then I'll call
He
him
goes
over.
through that way.
I
He
must
just
like
walked
come
by,
off.
I walked up there.
I must come off as like just a mean human because that's kind of the case a lot of the time. Nobody wants to like. I like yesterday. Someone messaged me and says, "Oh, I saw you at Quick Trip the other day because he watches my live streams on TikTok." I was like, "Why don't you come say hi?" I don't understand.
I don't know. It feels weird, probably.
Yeah, it's
Well,
probably.
it's better to
It's
say
like-
hi in person than fanboy and message me, which I'm cool with. But I'd rather just have you come talk to me because
You-
everyone
you
wants
know,
to
I-
see Tara. I mean,
Just send them a link to your OnlyFans page.
that's
You know,
true.
a couple of years ago, I saw Joe Rogan at O'Hare Airport, and I really didn't feel like going over there and bothering him.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's a lot of people.
I probably
Yeah.
would have done that.
I'm not
That's where
quite
I'm
on
at.
Joe Rogan's. You know what I mean. He's the most famous podcaster in the world.
Yeah, for the most
I
part.
probably would have went right over and said, "Hey, dude, what's up?"
Mhm. Yeah. Well, guys, I think we're gonna shut this one down for the night. But
Hey, before we shut this down, I need to thank Wayne Hoska for the $5 super chat. We appreciate you,
yep,
Wayne.
we love that, Wayne. And you can just throw a 5 over to ours, and we're good too. No, but yeah, we appreciate Panfish Nation coming on and being our guest for our first one back after like a month or so. So it's
Yeah.
kind of nice having you
We're
on.
glad to do it, and you know, we'll get you guys over on our team one time. We'll do a show if you want to do it with us, and we'll talk about how you're.
I'll make the thumbnail.
Now, is that going to be a thumbnail with everybody, or is it just going to be focused on Luke?
Remember, I was well behaved
Okay.
here.
Okay.
Scott.
Just for the record, it was Chewy's idea. Chewy's idea. I did not taking credit. It was his idea. I just made it come through.
Well,
That was
actually, people say that me and Luke are like grumpy old men, like because we
No,
we
it's
go at
true.
each other in front of everybody sometimes, and we tell each other to shut up and all that. And somebody
it's
said, "You guys
hostile.
look like those guys
It's
from Grumpy Old
hostile.
Men." So when I told Luke, yeah, you know what, you need to put them on that one of those Grumpy Old Men pictures. That'll be so great.
That's one of my favorite shows of all time. People used to say that was me and my brother when them shows was real popular. And I said, that's not me and my brother.
I've been on 3 Amigo thumbnails, where people have put my head on 3 Amigos. I've been on a 3 Stooges thumbnails with my head on 3 Stooges, so this is just another one added.
That's right.
There you go.
Well, we
Thank you
do
guys
we
for
do
inviting me.
appreciate you guys. Make sure if you guys haven't followed Panfish Nation, you do that. Follow Catfish Weekly and follow Catfish and Crappie, the big dog right there, Mark Przybysz, and Fish. But yeah, we appreciate you guys so much, and we will see you guys on the next episode of Old Carver Fishing Podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank
for
you
having
For being
guys.
on.
Is that it?